All right, my friends, if you are in sales, this video is going to be for you. We are going to be talking about the trust recession, the trust economy, and how the sales industry is changing. And now, what you're studying and what your leadership and your mentors and everyone has told you what is important and how to be proficient and good at sales is not going to be the thing that's going to get you to the top in this day and age. So, what is this trust recession? What is this trust economy that we're living in? Well, everyone has so much access to information. They've seen 30,000 videos and reels and ads of someone like you, someone that's presenting your product. They already know more about your product than you probably think that they do, or maybe even you know about your product. Because the people that are willing to sit with you have done research. They can go to ChatGPT nowadays and get all this information. And then there's you, the guy that they're not looking forward to talking to. They're neglecting having this conversation because they feel like they already know. They feel like they already know what they need because of the amount of information that they have. And then in the past, they've had these pushy salespeople that just make them feel uncomfortable, but that's not you. So, how do you separate yourself within the trust economy? In my opinion, it all comes down to personal state. It comes down to the inner work. Because the guy who has mastered his inner state, the inner work, you could sit with a prospect and they'll throw you a complete curveball, and maybe it'll throw you off your straight line. If you think of Jordan Belfort's Straight Line Persuasion, which is a really good book, actually, if you think of straight line persuasion, they throw you off your straight line. Well, someone who's mastered their inner state can bounce off the straight line and then come back to the straight line and not get thrown off by the volatility of being off of the straight line. And they can bounce there and they can be charismatic and they know how to guide the conversation back to the straight line. And this comes down from mastering the inner state. The person that's also mastered their inner state can tap into creativity. They can connect with clients on a high level. They can notice and call out things in the environment that is going to bring their prospects to a state of ease. So these are some things that we're going to focus on in this video is what can we do on a daily basis that is going to help us master this inner state. So these are the exact things that I teach to one-on-one clients that I've worked with, what I've worked with many sales teams. I'll literally do this first thing live on a call. And then that day I've had people close $20,000 deal, $30,000 deal. We've had sales teams crush over $100,000 in one day just by following the priming meditation. So what is the priming? Well, most people, when they start their day, and this could be you, when you start your sales day, when you get into it, maybe you go into the gym on a good day, had 3 cups of coffee and a Red Bull. Most of you are doing that, which is completely obliterating your nervous system before you start the day. But what you're going to do is you're going to introduce the priming meditation. Tony Robbins made this famous. So we'll sit down with a sales team, with an individual, and we'll calm down the nervous system. Usually doing this with breath work to start. Slowing it down, slowing it down. Then we think of gratitude. We get into a state of gratitude. If you were to just think of gratitude before every single sales call, that alone will change how you show up because you're operating from a state of peace and stillness and gratitude. It's like, hey, I'm grateful for my life, man. Everything else now is just in addition to it. So, first we get into gratitude. Then we have a small prayer. We feel energy filling us up, lighting up our body. And then this is the mechanism and the secret is within the priming meditation at the end of it, we get clear on what it is that we want. We get super crystal clear on how this day is going to go. Let's say, for example, that we're speaking with a solar sales team. I spent many years in solar, so I can relate to you guys if this is you. So, solar sales team, I will think about the prospect saying yes, smiling with no friction at all in my mind's eye. And then I will think about the loan pal documents, the good lead documents, the finance documents in my mind. I'll see them going through them with no friction and I'll get excited about it. In my mind's eye, I'm seeing them saying, yes, Ethan, I've never sat with a sales professional that is like you. I don't even feel like you're in sales. That's how you know you're good at sales when someone says, I don't even feel like you're in sales. Has someone told you before that you're a good salesperson? Well, they probably didn't buy and you probably were acting like a salesperson, right? That's the key here. The secret to this whole process. And everything that we're going to do on this YouTube channel is how can you not be a salesperson? How can you get more people to say, wow, I didn't even feel like I was with a salesperson? Boom. That's how you've mastered the inner state and you've mastered effective communication to make people feel extremely comfortable with you so they can follow you on your straight line to get to the end. Okay, we've mastered the priming meditation. Now, what is next? Let's fast forward. We've done our priming meditation. We had our first 4 calls of the day, and you're on point. You're feeling good. But then you kind of get this midday, like, damn, I'm a little bit tired right now. I need a break. I'm going to go grab 3 Red Bulls and do this. Get some nicotine, pop a Zin in my mouth, which most of you are already doing. I got nothing against nicotine, but there's better ways to master your state to be more effective, to raise our bar on the productivity X effectiveness scale, which we'll do a whole nother video just alone on the productivity X effectiveness scale. But essentially, what you want to do is on a daily basis, you want to have some form of meditation, or I like to utilize NSDR, non sleep deep rest. There's a Huberman video online that you can find, and it'll take 10 or 20 minutes out of your day. And in this state, you want to think about nothing that's going on. You need to give your brain a rest to recharge, to get back into the dream state. The dream state is when you're on point, you're in flow state, you're in the wolf state, when things are just flowing, you feel good. Someone calls you up, what's going on, John? All right, I'm ready for any problem that you throw at me. Talk to me, John. And you are on point. When you're operating from a state that's overwhelmed, it's because you have too much information and you have not given your brain time to process and to calm down. So we're going to start implementing NSDR or a slight meditation, stillness. You can even go for a walk outside, whatever you want to do in your current state that's going to help. So I have NSDR videos that I can share with you. You can do the Huberman video as well. Within this non-sleep deep rest, it's going to take 10 to 20 minutes. You're doing certain breath work movements that is signaling deep rest. Monks have used this for years. And what you'll do in 10 to 20 minutes is equivalent to about 4 hours of actual rest. And you're doing this in the middle of your day. And my favorite part about NSDR is I don't feel groggy after a nap. I feel ready. I feel ready to go to my next call. This is 20 minutes. If you don't have 20 minutes in your day, you do not have a life. So right now, if we take the 2 things, 10 minutes in the morning for priming and now 20 minutes in the day, can you give me 30 minutes? 30 minutes a day, and you will simply just be that much more effective on your team. Now, the last thing that we're going to cover in this video is kind of going to wrap up this mechanism. I like to call it the triad. The triad are the forces that control your emotional state. So within the priming meditation is a really good example of the whole triad encapsulated into one thing. But if you can master the forces that control your emotional state, well, now you know what controls your emotional state. And when your emotional state, your nervous system is thrown off, you can start to identify and pick out. It's like, okay, it was my language. After that one call, I was hanging around with someone that was really negative. I started getting to a negative state. So that threw me out of the dream state. Okay, how can I get back in? So now you can start to identify what's actually happening. So the triad is like this. First, triangle, first part of the triangle is going to be language. Language, what you say to yourself, I believe is way more important, but what you say out loud, words are spells and you're casting spells all day long. So what you say to yourself, how you speak to yourself, the language that shows up, how you speak to others. I see this so often in sales teams and especially in society. People like to trauma bond. People like to trauma bond on a daily basis. Yo, how was your morning? This fucking dude showed up and he showed up to the call and he was just like, he wasn't even ready, bro. He wasn't ready for me to sell him. He didn't even know what the call was about. Stop being that guy in your sales team. Stop bringing negativity to the table because you're just trauma bonding with everyone. No one gives a shit. Everyone has people that show up. But okay, let's say that same person shows up. Well, if your language is good to yourself, I'm the type of person that just handles everything and all I can offer is my best and I know my shit. So I get the person that shows up and they're like, yo, what is this call about? Oh, no worries, John. I mean, you booked this yesterday. That's kind of funny you don't remember. But hey, let me explain briefly just to make sure we don't waste either of our time today. Does that sound fair to you, John? Boom, he's not throwing off my state because my language is good to myself. And this is just a whole consistency of all parts of the triad that you can master, that you can have that start of response ableness. You know the word responsibility? If you break it down, response able. We all have a responsibility to show up as our higher version of ourselves. So language, we got to get real good with our language, how we're speaking to ourselves, how we're speaking to others. If you find yourself and you got to have like some radical self-diagnosis. If you're the dude that's like, damn, I kind of, when Ethan was saying that shit about talking about bad clients and bad process, that's kind of me, man. Snap out of it. Snap out of it. People will be like, yo, you something different about you, Luke. Yeah, man. I'm getting my language right. I'm speaking to myself better. Before calls, how do you speak to yourself? Are you on your way to a meeting and you're thinking like worst case scenarios? Man, what are they going to say when they say no? How am I going to respond to that? Or what's your language before a call? You scrolling on Instagram and you're following all this bullshit and that's changing your language? Or you sitting there and it's just like all I can offer is my best. I know my shit. Everything always works out for me and brings me closer and closer to my goals, dreams, and desires. However this goes, I'm going to offer my best. This is going to work out for me. And I already visualize that this is going to go great. So your language should follow the visualization and then it meets it in the conscious reality. So after language, now we have body, we have physiology. How is your physiology showing up on a daily basis? You walking in, are you slumped over? Are you back straight, eyes clear? And are you ready for the day? How do you treat your body? Did you just go on a bender for the last 3 days? Did you go boozing last night and now you're showing up to the office? Now you're showing up to your calls? How do you take care of yourself? What did you do this morning for your body, for your physiology? This is the meat vessel that's taken you through this life. You have to respect it. Are you showing up? Are your eyes clear? Your hair, you got a haircut? Your beard trimmed, you got nice clothes on. Did you clean your clothes? Did you take time to prepare yourself the night before? Because this is not just on an exterior level what people are seeing. Yes, this matters, but a lot more is what is this is doing to your internal state. When your physiology is on point, man, there's something about your swagger. There is something about your swagger that shows up differently, and that's going to allude to extreme confidence, and that's going to just exist with you crossing deals across the table because of your extreme confidence that is just alluding from your physiology. So now we have language, we have physiology. Are you staying on top of these things? Okay, how's my language? How's my physiology? And my favorite part, focus. Where your focus goes, energy flows. So, what is your focus? Why are you doing this? Why are you working? I would assume maybe if you're in this video and you've got it this far, you're working 100% commission role. Why are you doing this? Why are you showing up every single day? What's your focus right now? Is it because you just want enough money to pay your bills? You just trying to get climb Maslow's hierarchy of needs right now? That's okay too. If you follow these principles, it'll get you there. But okay, from where do we want to go after that? What are we doing this for? Is it to have a nice watch? Is it to have a Lamborghini? What is it that you want? Because those material things are not going to get you so far. Get your focus on really identifying what it is that you want. And you can utilize this on a daily basis. Okay, well, my focus today is I would really love to close 3 deals to put me in a position to be the top producer. While I'm a top producer, then I can start communicating my beliefs to the organization. And I can start sharing these principles that I learned from Ethan's YouTube channel. I can start sharing this to other people so we can help more people. You got to get super, super crystal clear on your focus. Now, if you don't have this yet, there'll be a link below that I have a project. It's called the Future Authoring Project, which is all about this. We get super crystal clear on the higher version of yourself. Very clear, extremely clear on what it is that you want out of this life. Think with the end in mind. I love Stephen R. Covey. He's got a great, great book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And one of the principles in that book is to think with the end in mind, and then you reverse engineer your life. Well, if you have a focus in mind, and then you follow the triad, language, physiology, get these two right, and then you have your focus where you're going to be a powerful, powerful person. I hope this video was helpful to you. Do me a favor, like this video, comment below. We're in the process of really putting out videos and getting this channel to where I want it to be. So I look forward to seeing you guys in the next videos. Peace.